Am I the a-hole for putting a restraining order on a friend? I, 23 female, and George, 22 male, had been friends for a long time as our families have been friends for 3 generations. After having a one-night stand, I gave birth to a baby girl, Visha, and she's now 2 months old. After I got out of the hospital, I took her to meet everyone and they loved her. George's mother is in a phase where she really wants a granddaughter, and well, she has all grandsons, so she became really attached to her. Well, George has also become attached and rather possessive of my daughter. The problem began when he started calling her his daughter, and would constantly say, "Daddy's here," every time she cried, and I told him to stop. And yes, her dad is in her life. We FaceTime and visit him as he lives in a different state. Well, one day while we were on FaceTime, my daughter's dad, Carl, 24 male, asked for a DNA test. It shocked me to say the least, so I asked him why. Turns out ever since my daughter was born, George has been sending texts to Carl saying how Visha wasn't his, that George was the father, and to stay away from his daughter. I saw red. I went to George's house and cussed him out and stopped talking to him. Mind you, my daughter is a month old at this time. Well, George took it upon himself to go to my house while I was at work and tell my mom that I said he could take her. My mom had no idea that I cussed him out and stopped talking to him. So when I came home, I found my mom asleep and my child nowhere to be found. I ran screaming and yelling at my mom as to where my baby was, and she told me George came and got her. I immediately got into my car and went to George's house. He wasn't there. I went to his mom's house and there he was sitting on a couch holding my baby. I grabbed my daughter and told him to stay the hell away from her and to never think about coming near us again. His mom, who was at home at the time, came walking in the door and asked what was going on, and I told her that George took my daughter without my consent. I then went to the police station and filed a police report and a restraining order. His girlfriend, and also the mother of his son, has been harassing me and calling me all types of names and saying I'm an a-hole for putting her son's dad in jail. So am I the a-hole for protecting my child? And also, I have never and will never hook up with George. That is disgusting to even think about. And I don't have a problem with his mom. I love her and always thought of her as a second mom, seeing as we were around them all the time and we were next door neighbors until they moved. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. He kidnapped your daughter. It's as simple as that. Friends don't kidnap your kids. Right? I can't imagine going to my besties and leaving with her child, even if we have known each other since 1st grade. If I did that to my best friend, I know 100% it would end our 14-year friendship, because she would unalive me, and I'm auntie to her kids. We've done some pretty messed up things to each other, but our kids are a line we don't cross. Not the a-hole at all. George is weird and obsessed, and it's creepy. Please let everyone know what he's been doing before his family can spin it to look like you're the crazy one. Get a lawyer and send him a cease and desist letter as well. Also get video recording cameras for your home. His family isn't like him. They immediately cut him off after they found out what he did. Thank God. You are in the right in all this. It kind of sounds like George and his girlfriend wanted a set of a boy and a girl, and were trying to take your kid from you for that reason and cut you out. You did the right thing. What if he had thought about you getting angry and hurt your kid? Or realizes you were looking for him before you found it and hurt your kid trying to get out of trouble? He doesn't spend time with his son, and we would yell at him because every time his son would cry, he would yell, "I wish you were never born." It scared me half to death. I honestly wanted to end him. It's extremely alarming that he is so fixated on your daughter while ignoring his son. I would fear the absolute worst if I were his girlfriend. She doesn't care. She does anything and everything to please him, and he knows it. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to spend Christmas with my family after my mom introduced herself to my 3-year-old by her first name? My mom and my wife avoid each other if they can. There was never a big incident. My mom isn't a just no mother-in-law, and my wife isn't some horrible daughter-in-law. But if they can get away with not speaking, they don't speak. For a little while, my mom tried to keep her close relationship with me by trying to see me when my wife wasn't there. But I felt weird about that. My life got busy, and more I told my mom that the only times I was available were when my wife would be there, so my mom lost interest in seeing me. In the 4 years I've been married, I've seen my mom a handful of times. It was hard on me for a while, but I feel like, what am I going to do when the two of them just don't want to interact? My mom did send a gift when my 3-year-old was born, and she has met her a couple of times. My mom is always polite when we see her, but obviously there can't be a traditional grandma role when she doesn't want to come around. My wife's family live across the country, so I spend most holidays with my family. My mom isn't the one hosting, and I am not forcing my wife into an uncomfortable situation. My wife genuinely likes a lot of my cousins, and we mostly hang out with them, and my mom hangs out with her husband, sister, and brother-in-law. My daughter has met my mom, but not enough to remember her, and is going through her curious stage. When we all gathered for Thanksgiving, she asked my mom who she was, and my mom gave her first name. She was really nice about it, but it still left a bad taste in my mouth, like she's still her grandmother. And while we aren't close at all, there was never a formal estrangement. I didn't say anything in the moment. My wife suggested it might be a vanity thing, but I don't know. She was never particularly vain. Recently, Christmas plans came up, and I stated that I don't want to go if my mom is there, due to her rejecting my daughter. Now, my whole extended family thinks I'm being dramatic. My wife is actually annoyed and says I'm being an A for wanting to deprive our daughter of a family holiday just because my mom is a witch. I just don't feel comfortable, and it really left a bad taste in my mouth. Obviously, there can't be a traditional grandma role when she doesn't want to come around. It's surprising that you accept this as fact, but are then so angered by your mother not introducing herself with a traditional grandma name. I mean, which is it? Either she's grandma and you make an effort to foster a good relationship between her and your daughter, or she isn't, and you accept that she will introduce herself as just another member of the extended family. You're the a-hole. Seriously, what was she supposed to say? And how was she supposed to know that was what she was supposed to say? You're the a-hole. I felt weird about that. You felt weird about seeing the woman who gave birth to you alone, yet you want her to stake claim to your child? I'm sure she's as confused as I am. You're the a-hole. It sounds like you and your wife are icing your mother out, and she is being very respectful of that. If you don't want her in a traditional grandma role, then why give it a title? Do you want your daughter to constantly ask, why can't I see grandma? Jenny's grandma picks her up every day. Have a grown-up conversation with your mom, following a conversation with your wife, about what type of role you want her to have in your daughter's life. She can decide if she's comfortable with that. But it seems like she's trying to respect that you don't want it to be traditional. And you're cutting her off even further and calling her a witch for it. You're seriously not thinking of your daughter at all, and seem to just want to stick it to your mom. Even your wife thinks you're in the wrong here. I would love her in a traditional grandmother role. Anytime I've invited her to spend time with us, not just me, she says she's busy. I've tried to include her in things, but she always has an excuse. You're the a-hole. Your mom did nothing wrong. You pushed her out of your life when she tried to have compromised and see you alone. If that was the only way I could see my mom, I would do it. She was disrespecting the woman I love by refusing to be around her. If she could have been normal and done some stuff as a family with us as a couple, then I would have hung out with her one-on-one. She refused to do that. Every time I try to include her, she has an excuse. Just because you love your wife doesn't mean your mom has to like her. Some people just don't get along. Not being around someone isn't disrespecting them. Next story. Am I the a-hole for making my sister leave my house at a family dinner? Plus little update. I'm 21 female, live with my now fiancé 25 male, and we like to have our families come over for dinners or to hang out. My fiancé proposed over the weekend, and we did not tell anyone except my sister 27 and his best friend. We wanted to surprise everyone with the announcement and invited them over for dinner, and my sister knew we would be announcing our engagement. At the end of the meal, before we brought out dessert, we told everyone that we had some exciting news. That is when my sister cut me off mid-sentence and said, I am pregnant again. Everyone in the family was so excited and happy for her and her husband. I think I stood for a solid minute with my jaw dropped. My grandma then made a comment to me about how sweet it was to have made this dinner for her announcement. I was furious. I walked up to her and her husband and said, please leave. And she looked like I had just stabbed her with my words. She started crying and saying how I wasn't excited for her and I was just jealous of her life. And she didn't think I even liked my nephew, too, whom I love and spoil. I told her again that she had to leave, that she and her husband could not stay anymore. My mom was furious with me and told me I had to apologize after my sister left my house. Her and my dad went on about how insensitive I was being, and that I was disrespectful to send my pregnant sister out of my house. I apologized to her and my family, but I still don't think I was in the wrong. I still have not told my family about my engagement. So am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before the little update. Not the a-hole. Your sister sucks for sure, but I think you probably should have told your family. After your grandma made that comment, you should have said that your sister hijacked the event and you told her it was to announce your engagement. By not telling everyone, it makes it look like your sister announced her pregnancy and you got so mad you kicked her out. So people are gonna think you were an a-hole instead of realizing your sister is to blame. Petty option. Tell everyone you threw the party to make your own announcement. Your sister knew that and stole it. If they want to find out what your announcement is, they can pressure the sister into throwing you a makeup dinner. Or have a party for some other people. Tell them and put it on social media. Send it to a family chat and write, "This is what I was going to tell everybody. Sis knew but didn't care that she stole that from you." With fiancé's family to make a point about her family's refusal to listen to her, we almost exclusively see my husband's family, because even if they pull some annoying crap, we know they'll have our backs if we need it. And if we lay down a boundary, they listen. I love my parents, but they are a-holes. Not an a-hole. You should tell everyone the dinner was for your engagement, and your sister knew beforehand. If anyone still sides with her, I'd go low contact with them, and I wouldn't include your sister in your bridal party and or planning. I wouldn't even invite the sister to the wedding at all. Depending on how far it is, she will likely be announcing baby number 3 during the reception toasts. Why did you apologize? It was a truly awful thing to do. My advice? Don't bother telling your family. And if they find out from someone else and want to know why you didn't tell them, then explain. This is a level of pettiness that I am completely here for. Reminds me of this kid whose parents weren't going to their graduation because they weren't the valedictorian. In a way, they were actually that person. And instead of telling their parents, they just sent them a video of the graduation speech. Pettiness level 100. Edit/update. I FaceTimed with my mom and dad this morning and spoke with them calmly about everything that happened. My dad agreed with me that it was disrespectful of her to take my moment in my dinner. My mom, on the other hand, said I was still insensitive, and it was unfair for me to ruin my sister's moment, and that I could have announced it at a different day and let her have the moment. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter she can come to me if she wants hair removal? My 42 female daughter, 14 female, is pretty hairy compared to most girls her age, just like I was at her age. Brown jeans, LMFAO. Recently she mentioned how she had to wear shorts for basketball in school, and she had more leg hair than anyone else there, which made her embarrassed. I went through the same feeling as a kid, so I completely got what she meant. And I knew that she was going to try remove her body hair at some point, and I didn't want her to feel like she had to do it in secret like I did. So I told her that if she wants to remove it, she can tell me and we can work something out. But if she doesn't, there's absolutely no pressure to do so. Anyways, my husband, 45 male, found out about this and was enraged, telling me it just made her more insecure about her hair, and I'm gonna turn her into a look-obsessed idiot, his exact words. My reasoning was that she was already insecure about her body hair, and telling her she couldn't remove it would just make her miserable, and she'd end up doing it in secret and probably in an unsafe manner. I'd rather her be comfortable and open with me about it so she doesn't hurt herself or feel anxious that I find out. I went through this whole thing before, and there was a time I plucked out my arm hair individually in secret before a party because I didn't want to look stupid. I don't want her to go through the same thing. My husband claims I'm setting a horrible example to her and making her seem like that stuff matters more than it does. I'm scared that's what I'm doing, but at the same time I feel like giving her a choice was the best option. I don't know. Is there something I'm missing or doing wrong? Not stay hall and men don't get it. Plus what he said was cruel. He isn't the one being pointed at and whispered about and made fun of. As a kid who went home crying every day for a year at 11 to 12, I get it. And 100% removing the hair will make her feel better. My family's upper lip hair people, and the teasing stopped as soon as they let me wax it off. He doesn't get how cruel children are, girls especially. Yeah, my husband's white and barely has any leg/arm hair. I was jealous as hell when I met him, so I really don't think he gets how exhausting it feels. But I 100,000,000% agree with you on children are cruel part. They see a girl with body hair and act like she's some alien being. You should stop shaving and doing hair removal for yourself, and let him see for himself what you go through. If it's no big deal, then he won't mind. Not today, home. You are being a wonderful, supportive parent. It is certainly age-appropriate for her to remove hair. It is her preference to remove or not, which you honored in what you said to her. She obviously wishes to remove it, or she wouldn't have brought it up. Husband goes on the bench on this one. I wonder if you have a son, and what will happen when he reaches shaving age. I bet it would be a wonderful male rite of passage, not a boy being a looks-obsessed idiot. Thank you so much. I was really worried that I was just passing my childhood insecurities onto her, but I didn't want her to feel trapped, you know? And with the son thing? Exactly. No one's gonna force their son to keep a beard so they don't turn vain. Same should go with the daughters. Not today, Hall. Your husband is going way too far into the body positivity idea, and forgetting that A, not everything is about what other people think, she can do it just because, and B, your daughter lives in the real world where teenagers can be mean. Your husband is taking away her autonomy. You aren't telling her she has to remove it, just offering her a safe way to do so, and telling her that it's her choice. I don't think it's the body positivity thing for him, but more like why do you care sort of thing. The same goes for makeup. I painted her nails a couple times, and he acted like I was setting her up for a child beauty pageant. It sounds like your husband has a problem with your daughter growing up. Because a lot of men, maybe not just men, see makeup, nail polish, etc. like a way to make yourself look more sexually appealing. He has to understand that she's not doing it for others but for herself, something that you seem to understand more.